Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I want to apologize first. I am getting over a little head cold. This shit hits hard sometimes, but it only keeps me down for like 2 days or so and I'm right back to it. But we're gonna be doing a little unpackaging. This is coming from Amazon, wouldn't you know? So let's go ahead and get into this. The unpackaging knife is going to be the FM1 by Cold Steel. I freaking love this thing. It's just, I gave too much shit to Cold Steel, but this thing, it has found its way in an ungodly amount of time in my pockets versus a lot of other things that I have in my collection. And it's a good knife. It really is a good knife. So, what the hell is this? What is Vic Shark? I don't freaking know. Never heard of it, never seen them before. They are a small little pop-up, random ass, Chinese produced Amazon knife company, right? Or sold on Amazon. Little pouch, fuzzy lined pouch. This is a large knife. What's this? Here's a packaging. Of course, my first impressions of it. Feels pretty good. Feels quite similar to what you would get with, Civivi. Maybe a little cheaper feeling. You get a little rag and then a little paracord thing. That's cool. This is a bottle opener. That's neat. Well, I don't really drink beverages that require this. That's cool. A little paracord. I used to do this a lot when I was like in middle school and high school. It was fun, but whatever. That's a cool little thing that they have there. So that's neat. Let's go ahead and look at the star of the show for today. All right, this is a large knife, definitely. And what interested me about this so much was the specs, of course. I was looking out for something on the larger side. This comes in a handful of different colors. There are coated and non-coated. The blade material is D2. So this thing is floating around 50 bucks, I believe. They had different color G10. I think they were only G10s. I don't think this company does anything with micarta yet. But really what I'm here to share with you guys and experience for myself, is this a company that we might start seeing some stuff come out of, some cool stuff. So let's go ahead and deploy this. You can see that there is flipper tab, no jimping, unfortunately, and some very smooth studs. So, right off the bat, not the best impressions, but let's go ahead and give it a flip. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of flipper tabs, but, it's still a very reliable deployment method. Ceramic bearings within the pivot, and they are exceptionally smooth. But that pivot might just be loose, possibly. Let's do studs. Ooh. Oh, no. Yeah, those studs are very, very slick. All right, you can get used to it a little bit. Let's see, reverse flick. I cut my nails and might be a little, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen at all. Those studs are way too smooth. That's very unfortunate. So I don't know why companies feel the need to try to reinvent the wheel. The typical stepped studs that you see on freaking everything. I mean, it's okay to put it on this. You didn't need to, do anything special or fancy. And these would probably have to be destroyed in a sense to remove them, to replace it if you wanted to do so in the future. Well, anyway, besides that, let's go ahead and look at this blade. I think the blade profile is quite attractive as well. It is, again, a rather large knife overall. We'll do some size comparisons. We'll take the weight. We'll check the factory sharpness out of the box, of course. But right now, let's just take some time to look at this guy. You can see the execution of the plunge grind and sharpening choil is magnificent. That is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know why OEM companies are scared to push the plunge grind further back. Just get it back just a little bit. All companies are at fault for this. To my knowledge, there are no company that through their entire model line that you could say that they are consistent when it comes to plunge grinds. It's very rare, honestly. Maybe some stuff with Hinder, possibly, U.S. production company. But that's a whole different can of worms, right? This is a $50 Chinese production knife. So, again, materials that we're looking at is D2. It said on the listing, which I will be linking down below, what the HRC was. I believe it was recorded, it's nice. But the listing is kind of, something seemed to be lost in translation. The wording of certain stuff, it's a little funny. But you can see natural JG10. This is smooth. This is not peel ply or grippy at all, but it is shaped in a way, and actually it's not flat, it's contoured. So, you know, that actually feels pretty good in hand. It's rather girthy, it is, but it feels good. It feels soft. Everything does feel really well knocked down. You have this little lanyard thing that sticks out here in the back. It is also the same matching material as the scales, the natural JG10. A fold over steel clip with one hell of a rise for your pockets. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Do I feel it in hand? It's like right there, but I personally don't really feel it. I think my hand kind of caves and creates a little space right here, a gap where that sits right there. But I personally don't think that that's a big deal. I'm sure some people, if checking this model out, they might say something about that. In the forward grip position, you could, I suppose, rest on that flipper tab. I have large to extra large size hands, but slim fingers, so I tend to fit into, I guess, more crowded spaces a little bit more comfortably than some other people with girthier fingers. So this, to me, this isn't super awkward. This actually feels quite nice, actually. Nice drop point, almost kind of like a harpoon, a tad bit. The actual edge itself, it seems to have a continuous curve, a little bit of belly, but the tip seems damn near in line with the center of the pivot. So utility cuts and basic use of this thing should be just like a lot of other things that you would think would perform, like, you know, that look like this, right? So you could definitely hear some squeak from that liner lock. Yeah, so all that is just, it's excess lubrication that's kind of squeaking up in there. I will be taking this apart and cleaning it out off camera. But so far, what I'm feeling, this thing feels pretty darn good for what it is. It doesn't seem like they really cheapened out on much. Vic Shark printed right there on the blade. I'm glad that's nothing super crazy. D2 giant blade steel stamp right there. It could have been, you know, discreetly somewhere else. Nothing on the clip, I'm glad. T8 for the pivot looks to be like, we can check real quick. Is that T8 for the body? No, that's possibly T6 for the body. Yeah, so T6 for the body and the clip screws. So that's a little unfortunate, but what is cool is that they do offer a little spot to flip the clip if you want to do that. Now for lefties, yeah, it should be just as any other liner lock knife, very easy to manipulate. A little tight to the scale. Maybe it is just on this side. Yeah, there's more access from the right side than on the left side. I don't know how I got it so easy the first flick. Yeah, not too bad. But there is a little bit more access on this side. Now let's talk about the access of the liner itself. That is not sharp at all. That is very well rounded, and the steel liners themselves have 0 weight relieving. So this thing is relatively hefty for what it is. It is very well rounded, nice and soft, not sharp. This little spot right there, where the liner is actually cut to create the lock itself, a lot of companies, a lot of budget companies, no-name companies, leave that very sharp. That is beautifully softened down. That's a little detail that I absolutely love. And I've checked out $100 knives and up that still miss that. So that's pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and take the weight. Like I said, this thing feels pretty dense for what it is, but it is a large knife for what I would consider a large knife. So 5.5 ounces, yeah, pretty dense. I'm sure a lot of people out there would appreciate the extra heft overall of the unit. Let's go ahead and check the factory edge. Getting used to those studs a little bit. My thumbs have to be like absolutely dry. If I have even a freaking microgram of sweat on my thumb at all, then it's gonna slip right off. But dry thumbs, yeah, sure, you'll be fine. Hey, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, it almost feels as if the tip was kind of rounded off when it comes to stropping or the finishing. Slipped out of there a little too early. It didn't feel super consistent. Like, it feels consistently sharp all the way to right about there. So basically, everything above my index finger here feels like it was actually over-stropped and realistically not too aggressive. But that's all right, not a big deal. This is a blade shape that would absolutely be able to be easily reprofiled and sharpened. And taking a look at how they did from the factory, I mean, the grind looks quite consistent. I can definitely see that some of the black washing was actually stropped away, probably from their buffing wheels. So there are some spots that are a little bit more aggressive down here and towards the tip. Some of the black wash has actually been scrubbed away by the finishing of the factory edge there. So what's next? Let's do some size comparisons. Let's get out that FM1. Why not? The FM1 is what I would consider a full-size knife, and it's actually a little bit shorter than this Vic Shark here. Now, did this Vic Shark even have a model name? No, it does not. This is all it says. Vic Shark pocket knife. All right. Let's a couple other little things. Let's do this guy. This big dude right here. So this is the MSI in full tie. And yeah, the MSI, of course, as usual, is longer than most things. Something a little bit more compact. Manix 2 Lightweight by Spyderco. It is shorter than the Vic Shark. I'm trying to figure out what do I have that's actually close to this thing. This right here, the Kubi Premium Tedious. It's close. It is close, maybe a 1/4 inch shorter, not by much, but yeah. That go in there? I actually have like my whole collection out here off to the side because I was doing some maintenance on some stuff. But my favorite thing about this, what really pushed me to purchase this, while I am not the biggest fan of flippers and I prefer studs, the flipper tab is something that I can probably chop if I want to. And the blade shape, the execution of the plunge grind sharpening control is freaking beautiful. One of my favorite knives in my collection right here, this is the CMB Main Knives Predator. This is a knife that you can sharpen and use into oblivion because the plunge grind is so tight and so far back over here. The edge will stay relatively consistent of thickness after every sharpening. And man, this is a real sweet knife right here. Now, I actually have a giveaway coming up, which I haven't made the official video for, but this guy right here is one that I customized. Let's get that out of the way. Just real quick, just want to share with you guys. So some people that are seeing this video will know that I'm doing a giveaway. So this is mine, right? This has been beaten on and used for a while. And this is a essentially brand new unit. This was gifted to me by a wonderful friend in the community, Steven over there at Work Knife Balance. If you haven't checked out his channel, super sweet dude. Just a really, really kind and generous individual. Chill vibes through and through, and I love it. But yeah, he gifted this to me to customize and to give away to my people, my viewers, of course. All you gotta do is just subscribe, and I will end up putting an official video and then pull people from there. Basic rules: you gotta be of legal age and live within the US, and free shipping to you that I paid for. That's it. But official video coming out on that soon, very soon. I will be finding myself with a lot of free time in the next coming weeks, seeing as I am changing career paths again. So, man, I really want to be able to reverse flick this thing. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Whatever. So, centering looks pretty darn good to me. See, detent lash. Hey, that's pretty nice. No, that's good. I'm going to call that good. Side to side, nothing. Up and down. I could feel something if I really muscle it, but it's not that bad. I think for what this thing is so far, there are plenty of little improvements, just little quality of life improvements. But for what it is, if you want to know, does it actually feel like it's worth the money? Absolutely it does. Now I will take the next couple weeks with this knife, this overall design, putting it to the test. I will be sharpening it, taking it apart, doing basic maintenance. If I find anything interesting, I will most likely make a YouTube short. Right off the bat, there are a couple little things that I could say that would be very simple, easy of life improvements that would most likely end up bringing up the cost. So grippier studs. If you really want to keep the flipper tab, put some jimping on there. Jimping it's just a must. It really is. You gotta have at least T8s for the body screws. If there's only 2 of them there, it really can't be that difficult. And then for the clip, leave them as T6. It's fine. It's pretty common. The clip itself, while it does look roomy enough, it is very slim, thin, and lengthy. It will probably bend out very easily, and those relief cuts right there to allow access to remove the clip seem very thin. So it's a little concerning with how thin those are. This is a clip that chances are the first time that it snags on something, and seeing how far that that sticks out there, this will probably snag on something and bend out and probably break quite easily. So that's a little downside right there. But besides that, I mean, if you want to get super nitpicky about it, we could talk about the fact that there's 0 weight relieving. It would be nice to have something of this size that is a little bit lighter. The slabs here of natural JG10, they are very substantial, very good looking, very clean and consistent. No weird marks or discoloration. They are clean through and through, definitely. I don't mind the little lanyard backspacer piece. I don't care for it. It's there for people who like lanyards, and it's out of the way enough. It's not a hot spot. I don't feel it poking in the back anywhere. Choked up, yeah, there's some jimping up here, but it's more for visual appeal, I suppose. If you are wearing thicker, larger work gloves, then that would definitely help keeping, you know, the thumb material of your glove locked in there. So that it kind of feels a little, everything just feels a little too spaced out and not as aggressive. But I can definitely see with some working gloves that this would probably be a little bit more useful. But good length of blade here, a beautiful versatile blade shape, flat ground D2 again. There really isn't a whole lot to complain about this thing, and it's quite nice, definitely. A couple little things that I would most likely do just out of personal preference. I would I would really like to replace those studs with something a little bit more aggressive. Chop the flipper tab and then strengthen the detent up a little bit because it is on the lighter side. And that's probably all I would do to it, and it'd be gold for me. Maybe if I can find a clip that would fit this, that would be, you know, something that I would want to do as well. But I probably wouldn't want to invest too much into $50 Chinese knife. So not that big of a deal. But that action is honestly quite impressive, and a lot of it is attributed to how weighty the blade is overall. It is a rather thick blade, quite tall. and relatively robust behind the edge as well. I do not own calipers, but my fingers are telling me it's pretty darn thick. So that's really about it. If you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. I will be linking down what I can in the description. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing because I have plenty more videos and content coming your guys' way. And with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.